So welcome. God, we got a big class here today. Hopefully this won't be an ending relationship kind of event. So I'm here to support your class and tell you a little bit about myself, my relationship with Jacinto, and the song that we both wrote. I was fortunate enough to get invited to participate in a therapeutic workshop that involves songwriting as a therapy for veterans suffering from PTSD. And in this workshop, veterans would come and share their experiences, share their demons that they experienced in combat or whatever. And in doing so, they were paired up with songwriters that helped them take that story and put it into a song. This was the second time I had participated in one of these events, and I was immediately impressed with the courage that these veterans had to sit in a room with a bunch of strangers and just lay out some of the deepest, darkest secrets in their souls for everybody to hear. And Jacinto came forward and shared the poem that he had written to his two young sons, asking to be reunited with them after a long period of being an absent father. And him and I went off, and I immediately saw there was a great story here, and I'm just really tickled, and it's such an honor for me to be here a year and a half later with this song recorded and seeing Jacinto in this class doing as well as he is. To me, it's a testament of how music and in general any art form can be such a healing therapeutic process for anybody suffering from PTSD. So what I'd like to do, my nasally cold and all, I'm gonna play this song for you. Up. I know this whole week has been about forgiveness, so if my cold doesn't produce some of these high notes, I hope you and trust you will in turn forgive me. I'm sorry, my sweet, beautiful son, for not trusting you, embracing my pain. No longer in the chaos, not going back again, but I'm still not as present as I planned. Sorry for sitting there, just only watching, for being weak, not fighting, to keep you close to me. Forgive me. Felt your little arms touch and try to soothe me. Forgive me. Heard your laughs, but couldn't bring myself to play. Forgive me. Now you're at the age of pulling away. Forgive me. Please allow me in your life again. I respect you for the young men you become, and your dreams that still lie ahead. I will walk with you as you walk with me through through the darkest times that we've had. I will be there for you to help you in your fall. Love gives me tears I can use to be the man that you can always lean on. Forgive me. Felt your little arms hug and tried to soothe me. Forgive me. Heard your laughs, but couldn't bring myself to play. Forgive me. Now you're at the age of moving away. Forgive me. Please allow me in your lives again. In your lives again. In your lives again. Forgive me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Still get choked every time.
Thank you. I was gonna share with this process. So I was hospitalized for about a month right before I retired. I tried to get treatment, but when I went to the VA, they said, "You're still active duty." I was on terminal leave, so luckily I went to the Air Force. Even though I was Army, I went to the Air Force, and they said, "We can fly you out to a treatment center in San Antonio." And so that's what happened. So this is after I had come back, and we were collaborating on the song. It was a long process. It was a very beautiful process. It was very healing. That's the original poem. Part of the thing of the poem came out of a month-long process of writing my story. That's the first thing they do. They when you first get in there, they hand you a journal. This is my journal, and through treatment, then you go to writing and treatment, and it's just and then after that, the poem was kind of birthed to that. This is what we call the war room. This is where we share our stories, where we share our demons. You can see the orange right there, that's where my poem is. And this is where all of us active duty. Soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen, all of us, I mean, of all different ranks. It didn't matter, colonel, we have, you know, some Medal of Honor recipients go through there. It was just incredible. And so we sat there, we would tell our stories without judgment. It was a very sacred environment. It's where I got the courage to tell my story. I shared the same story and poem to my sons, my teenage sons, after I got out of the treatment center. It was in March, and so I built a little fire outside. I bundled them up with only a little face poking out. So I wanted to share an excerpt of what I wrote. So we're building a part of we're living. It was just, I call it like a frat house. It was just packed. I mean, just infantry. All of us were in there, And so we had to keep building it. So it was in the back of the building. The extension was being built. I was watching them from they hired some Iraqis to do the building, but we had to watch them. It was in this courtyard next to the building that had a 5-foot rock wall around it with an aid station on one corner. I was facing the wall by the aid station with the workers to my left laying brick. As many noted, they're doing a crappy job with far less rebar used in construction than the States. It was then that, as if in slow motion, a mortar hit, but just on the other side of the wall, only 15 feet from me. I don't remember hearing it, only freezing. It was as if I was looking through a window, but eventually it came out of the fog. Everyone had run in the building, and me, like a dummy, went to see the damage. It had blown out the tires with some of the Humvees parked there. I sort of felt in disbelief of what had just happened, with that feeling of being very vulnerable began seeping into me. Simple times like just being up front, smoking, and hearing a bullet whiz by, to the dud that landed right in front of the porta-johns began making me paranoid. But it was the joking that others were using that helped me to normalize this place. I began saying that I didn't want to be in a porta-john and be hit by a mortar, because the blue water would stain my skin and I would be buried looking like a Smurf, even comparing it to inner city living. But I wasn't feeling alive, I was just existing. Shortly after, another mortar hit the back area, this time only a few feet where I had been standing in that courtyard. Only weeks ago, there were fuel cans there that the cooks used and to create a fire that we struggled to put out. Most of our fire extinguishers were empty. We had to crazily rely on throwing cases of water on it. This is when I began to realize that it wasn't safe, that I wasn't safe. No one was. The war wasn't just beyond the large wall surrounding us. We were in danger and could be killed. This thought process kept growing in me, and the intel pointed that we could have a VBIT, which is a vehicle loaded with ammo that, like the one that took out a bridge only miles away, that the explosion was strong enough to shake our building. After seeing our difficulty with putting out a fire from the mortar, I felt the fear building through the house. I began thinking about my sons, Jacinto, only 3, and so full of life and happiness, and Julian, only 9 months old, my airborne baby, born in Fort Bragg. He had hair that stuck out like a troll doll. I started mentally preparing for the real possibility that I might not be coming back. It was a helpless feeling. I wanted so bad to be there for them when they grew up. I even kept my bags packed in such a way to make sure they had a Bible and a rosary packed for them. And I knew that I was the only one that could guide them in life. But if I didn't come back, I feared my son that I adored would never truly know how much I love him. It was in a treatment center that I had learned that I built a wall around myself to protect myself from the scary feelings. But it also had blocked out my connecting with my sons. Asking for forgiveness freed me to be present in their lives again. And that's it's been incredible ever since. It's really different, but it was hard. So again, I want to thank you, Skip, because you're very much part of the process of taking something so painful and putting it into something that made it tangible, and I could say to my children what I needed to say.
Pleasure's all mine, man.
Thank you.